Hello everyone, my name is Moneses and welcome to my YouTube channel. I always wanted to make speed paints with commentary because I absolutely love watching them myself. But honestly, I'm not a big English speaker. And for a long time, I was afraid that I would sound bad or that nobody would understand me. But eventually, the motivation became stronger than the fear, so I decided to finally give it a try. Maybe this can also help me improve my English over time. And as a huge fan of Five Nights at Freddy's since childhood, I couldn't resist starting this series by redesigning FNAF characters. I really wanted to start with the animatronic from Fredbear Family Diner, mostly inspired by old Disney animatronics and the classic characters from ShowBiz Pizza Place. I've always been fascinated by that retro mascot style, and I think that's one of the reasons I started developing an art style inspired by old animatronic characters and vintage pizzeria mascots. I know, some people find this aesthetic a little cringe nowadays, but honestly, I really love the retro aspect of it. There's something strangely charming and uncanny about those old animatronics. They were designed to look friendly and comforting, but at the same time, they can feel a little unsettling, especially when they get older or stop working properly. That mix of nostalgia and horror is exactly why I love FNAF so much. So, let's start with the Fredbear. Fredbear is one of the two original Springboks animatronics from Fredbear's Family Diner, and basically the main mascot of the restaurant. Since he's a Springbok suit, his body is built with multiple spring-powered locking mechanisms and allows the suit to function both as an animatronic and as a wearable costume. In official appearance like Ultimate Custom Night, Fredbear looks very similar to Golden Freddy from the first game, but with the purple accessories instead of black. Some versions also show him with glowing eyes, which makes him look even more creepy. For my redesign, I wanted Fredbear to feel huge and intimidating, but also strangely comforting at the same time, even though there's still something unsettling about him. I gave him a very large smile and calmer eyes to create the balance between friendly mascot and quiet horror. I imagine him moving slowly and smoothly while performing music for families in the restaurant. The face and paws are made from rubber to make him look softer and safer for children. Even the claws are rubber, so while they look sharp, they actually harmless. I also imagine the microphone being permanently attached to his paw instead of being removable. I kept his classic purple bow tie and top hat because those details are just too iconic to remove. But I also added clothing inspired by a little bit by the Beatles and 1960s performance fashion. I thought it would help sell the feeling that Fredbear's Family Diner was trying to feel classy and family friendly while still having that old show band atmosphere. I can imagine Fredbear performing soft jazz or calm, classical inspired music while families are eating and children are watching the stage. Compare it to later animatronics from the newer locations, I wanted him to feel more elegant and old-fashioned rather than overly rockstar party looking. And honestly, I think that older style makes him feel even creepier in the content of Five Nights at Freddy's. Next up is probably one of the most beloved characters in the entire Five Nights at Freddy's community, Spring Bonnie. Spring Bonnie was one of the original mascots from Fredbear's Family Diner, alongside with Fredbear himself. Just like Fredbear, He was a spring-lock suit, meaning he could work both as an animatronic performance and as a wearable mascot costume. Because of that, Spring Bonnie became one of the most important and iconic characters in the whole FNAF timeline. What makes Spring Bonnie especially interesting is how mysterious he feels compared to many other animatronics. Unlike later characters, we never really got to see an official, fully detailed version of him for a very long time, which caused fans to create countless interpretations and redesign over the years. Of course, Spring Bonnie is also heavily connected to one of the darkest parts of the FNAF story, because the suit eventually became associated with William Afton and later transformed into Springtrap. And I think that connection is one of the reasons why so many fans are fascinated by this character. He represents both the cheerful mascot side of the Ulrich strand and the horror hidden behind it. For my redesign, I wanted Spring Bonnie to feel much more energetic and theatrical compared to Fredbear. While Fredbear feels calm and comforting, I imagine Spring Bonnie as the more playful performance of the duo, the type of character who will dance around the stage, interact with kids, and bring more chaotic energy to performances when he is used like the suit. I decided to replace his classic bow tie with a purple necktie and give him more formal purple clothing inspired by William Afton. I thought it would be a cool way to subtly connect Spring Bonnie to Afton's character while still keeping the design elegant and vintage looking. Yes, I kept the poses pretty simple because I imagine these animatronics not being capable of very fast or complicated movements while performing. In my head, they move more similarly to old animatronics or even vintage Furby-like toys. Slower, slightly stiff, but still charming in their own way. I think that limited movement actually makes them feel more believable and little creepier at the same time. Let me know in the comments what you like about these redesigns and if there's anything you would personally change. I also love to hear your ideas for the future redesign videos or other Five Nights at Freddy's characters you like to see next. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more projects like this in the future. I also have TikTok and Instagram, where I post early work in progress sketches, illustration, and sometimes animation. I'm also planning to make short reels and speed paints with a commentary for people who prefer that style of content. So feel free to check those out too. And again, thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.